The moon was full that night in a small village in Pakistan. Everything was quiet, only the sound of the wind passing through the dusty streets. But inside one small house at the edge of the village, 7 Christians were praying softly. Their voices were gentle, but full of faith. They were a family, 3 brothers, 2 sisters, and their elderly parents. They loved Jesus deeply, even though everyone around them warned, "Don't speak his name here. It's dangerous." But they couldn't stop. They sang songs every night, whispering praises even when soldiers passed by. That night, as they prayed, a sudden sound broke the peace: boots on the ground, shouts in the dark, and the crack of gunfire. The Islamic army had arrived. Angry voices filled the street. Someone yelled, "Burn the Christians!" The 7 believers looked at one another. Fear covered their faces, but faith held their hearts. The oldest brother, Daniel, whispered, "Don't be afraid. If we die tonight, we die for Jesus." The door burst open. Soldiers stormed in with torches blazing. They dragged the family outside and tied them together. Flames began to rise as the soldiers laughed cruelly. One of them shouted, "Let's see if your Jesus can save you now." The fire roared. Heat filled the air. The people watching screamed and ran. But the 7 Christians began to sing, a slow, trembling song. "Jesus, you are with us in the fire." The soldiers laughed harder. But as the fire grew brighter, something strange happened, something no one could explain. The flames surrounded the 7 believers, but they did not burn. Their clothes glowed like gold, but their skin was untouched. The soldiers stepped back in fear. One dropped his torch. Another whispered, "What is this?" And then, right in the middle of the flames, a bright light appeared, a light brighter than the fire itself. The people saw the shape of a man walking among them, shining with peace and power. The family stopped singing and began to cry. "It's Jesus," the mother whispered. "He came for us." The soldiers fell to their knees, trembling. Some ran away. Others dropped their weapons. Because that night, the fire did not destroy faith, it revealed it. When the fire died down, the 7 Christians were still standing. Their ropes had burned away, but not their bodies. Their clothes were clean, and their faces were glowing with peace. Everyone who saw it stood frozen. One soldier named Rahim couldn't move. His heart beat fast. He had been the one who threw the first torch. But now, looking at the bright light that had stood in the fire, he felt his knees shaking. "What kind of power is this?" he whispered. The captain shouted, "This is sorcery. Arrest them." But Rahim couldn't obey. Deep inside, he knew something holy had happened. He had seen many fires, many battles, but never a miracle like this. The people from nearby houses came out. Some were crying, some were whispering, "Jesus saved them." The soldiers tried to push the crowd away, but nobody could stop talking about the miracle. That night, Rahim could not sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the glowing man in the fire. The words of the mother echoed in his mind, "He came for us." The next day, Rahim went back to the place of the fire. He found ashes on the ground, but no sign of damage on the walls, not even a burn mark where the flames had been strongest. He dropped to his knees. "Who are you?" he prayed softly, though he didn't know how to pray. "If you are real, show me." Suddenly, a gentle wind blew past him, and he felt warmth on his face, peace like he had never felt before. Tears ran down his cheeks. Deep inside, he heard a whisper, "I am Jesus. The one you saw." Rahim fell to the ground, crying. He knew his life would never be the same. Days passed. The 7 Christians were taken to the city for questioning. Many wanted to punish them, but everywhere they went, people whispered, "These are the ones who the fire couldn't burn." Even some of the guards began to treat them kindly. One night, Rahim came to their cell in secret. His eyes were filled with tears. "Please," he said softly, "tell me about Jesus. I saw him. I felt his presence." Daniel smiled through the iron bars. "He is the Son of God," he said. "He saves not by fire or sword, but by love. He forgave us, and he can forgive you too." Rahim dropped to his knees right there. "I want to follow him," he said. They prayed together, their voices low but full of hope. As they prayed, a soft light filled the prison cell. Even the guard outside saw it and ran away, shouting, "The light has come again." From that night on, Rahim became a secret believer. He could not speak openly, but he carried a small cross hidden under his uniform. Every time he felt afraid, he remembered the shining man in the fire. Meanwhile, word of the miracle spread through the villages. Some refused to believe, others came to see for themselves. And slowly, quietly, people began to turn their hearts toward Jesus. But the captain of the soldiers, furious and ashamed, made a dangerous plan. He said, "We will end this story once and for all." He didn't know that what he was about to do next would lead to another miracle, one even greater than the fire itself. The captain of the soldiers could not sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the 7 Christians standing in the fire, untouched. The memory haunted him. His men whispered about the miracle. Some had already left the army. Others had started praying in secret. But the captain's heart was full of anger. "These Christians are turning my men into cowards," he said. "I will end this once and for all." He ordered the 7 believers to be brought out again. The crowd gathered in the city square, expecting another cruel punishment. But as the believers stood there, they were calm, peaceful, even smiling. Daniel looked at the captain and said softly, "You can take our lives, but you cannot take our faith. Jesus is with us." The captain shouted, "Enough! Prepare them for death." As the soldiers raised their weapons, the sky suddenly grew dark. Clouds rolled in, and a loud thunder shook the ground. The wind howled through the square, and people began to run. Then, in the middle of the storm, a blinding light appeared, brighter than lightning. Everyone stopped. The light took the shape of a man standing between the soldiers and the Christians. His face shone like the sun, and his voice was like music. "Why do you fight against me?" the voice said. The captain fell to his knees, trembling. "Who are you?" he cried. "I am Jesus," the voice answered, "the one who was with them in the fire. I came not to destroy you, but to save you." The captain began to weep. He dropped his sword and covered his face. "Forgive me, Lord, I did not know." The storm faded, and peace filled the air. The light disappeared, but everyone there felt his presence remain. The captain stood up slowly and faced the believers. "From now on," he said, "no one will harm you. You are free." The people cheered. The soldiers lowered their weapons. Rahim came forward, tears in his eyes, and hugged Daniel. "He did it again," he whispered. "Jesus has won." From that day on, the captain and many others in the city secretly followed Jesus. The story of the miracle spread far and wide, reaching villages, towns, and even other countries. And the 7 Christians returned home, not as victims, but as living proof that no fire can burn faith, no weapon can defeat love, and no power can silence the name of Jesus. The end. Summary. In Pakistan, 7 Christians were set on fire by soldiers for believing in Jesus, but the flames did not burn them. Jesus appeared in the fire and saved them. A soldier who saw the miracle turned to Christ, and even the captain later believed. The fire meant to destroy faith became a miracle that spread the name of Jesus across the land. Moral lesson: true faith cannot be destroyed by fear, pain, or fire.